Man, I was able to do anything. I felt kind of invincible.
17, 18 years old, I thought I was invincible and nothing could touch me. And
right after I graduated, I felt really invincible and felt like whatever came was going to be easy and just be handed to me, like, because that's kind of how high school was.
Freshman year was so difficult. My first semester, I lost my sister. I lost one of my good friends from high school.
All the relationships that I've had with, like, a girlfriend and, like, turbulation with friends throughout the process.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to learn more and wanting to know more. It just makes you more of a well-rounded person, I feel like.
Yeah, I like broke up with my girlfriend, you know, it really taught me a lot about life.
Trying to find that balance between school and friends and girlfriend who was going to the same college was hard to find because of her personality.
You know, at this stage of the game, you can't really go to your parents and say, oh, well, it sounds better if I do this. I mean, it's always good to have people like that or close friends just to give you advice or to hear you out and listen to you, but these are decisions that you have to go through. You're the one that sat through all these classes. You're the one that's done all this training, all this prep work. You're taking all the exams, you know, this is stuff that you know personally, so you gotta kind of bring it all together yourself and think about where you're trying to go with everything and kind of make that kind of decision yourself.
I started, just staying up late and, living that life of no rules. He had an apartment, he had all the upperclassmen friends, and he kind of took me under his wing.
I can honestly say that a lot of my best friends I've met in college, and so knowing that going forward, there's people I'm always going to be able to call on and rely on.
One of the biggest is having a girlfriend for the past about a year and a half.
It's the fact that you learn how to socially interact with people.
I'm just way more people oriented now than I've been before. That I was able to come out of my shell and really be able to talk, make more friends.
We were not mature at all. So I think definitely coming to college is making me so much more mature and responsible.
Like wanting to learn instead of feeling like, oh, you have to.
I didn't really know like what to be looking forward to as far as like college and roommates, and you hear other people's stories, but you don't know until you actually in it.
Or like specifically shaped, and you're kind of given a more of a global perspective through those classes, and I kind of learned to just think of outside myself and see that I'm experiencing life one way, and so many other people haven't had the resources, like the things to get them to the point where I am.
If you put your mind in the right direction, like your life would.
My parents do this, the people who are older handle all of these other things. Now I'm feeling kind of like I'm part of everything. I need to start working on, where I'm going to be in the future.
It's up to me, and I get to create the world that I live in.
I'm more a part of society. I contribute a lot more.
Going forward, I'm going to be the future.
Leaving high school, most subjects reported feeling invincible. They felt as though they could do anything. One reported that high school was even easy and that he was unprepared for the realities of college. We found that this feeling of invincibility usually preceded some form of adversity. Subjects were rendered vulnerable by the realities of college. College was much more difficult than high school and brought significant challenges, especially when unfortunate circumstances arose. Subjects reported that these rapid external changes forced internal changes. These students adapted as their environments did, which included differences in independence, relationships, and their social lives. Their independence encouraged them to venture out more than they ever had before. They had a new sense of freedom without the control of their parents that allowed them to expand their boundaries. This change of boundaries encouraged the growth of new relationships. Most subjects reported meeting their best friends throughout college. These were people that our interviewees saw themselves knowing for the rest of their lives. A few respondents also communicated the importance of their significant others. The people that they had these relationships with, their mentors, partners, and friends, were also the people that they chose to experience their social lives with. Their friends were the ones that they had fun with, drinking, getting high, or just hanging out. They had met them in dorms, at the bars, or in class. This aspect of college, the friendly, relaxed enjoyment, also helped people grow. Subjects reported that their adventures helped them learn more about themselves and become more comfortable in their own skin. Interviewees claimed that they learned how to be social and how to get along with people in college. All of these changes were managed by their external environment, and they caused a growth in maturity. Every single participant mentioned maturity in some way. They cited a deeper understanding of the world and their role in it. This had an impact on how they saw themselves and who they knew they were. It also made them more open-minded. Their sense of understanding of themselves led into a better sense of other people and only made them more accepting. Subjects spoke about how this newfound open-mindedness also changed their personal perception. They learned more by meeting and accepting and understanding other people. Hearing about other people's lives and learning what the world had to offer encouraged some subjects to think more about their own future. They began to plan their paths forward and decide exactly who they wanted to be. Throughout all of these changes, their external environment continued to have an impact. It was the vehicle that controlled what direction they grew in and who they would become. Through all of these changes and all of these inputs, our respondents formed their new identities. They were constantly influenced by the people around them, drifting away and gravitating toward them. They became the people that they wanted to be.